Hey, what's up, guys? I'm gonna do a 2021 toolbox tour. Kind of make it sort of fast. Not a lot's changed, but I also want to show you some tools that, for whatever reason, I just never use. You know, I'm just your average DIYer, mechanic, but not heavy mechanic. So that kind of gives you a frame of what type of tools I should have and what I'm using and stuff. These Milwaukee Tools, they're awesome. I use this ratchet a lot. It's kind of heavy, but it gets the job done. And this would probably be the second one I use the most of. Of course, I've got my lights and chargers and star and hex sets back there I use. It's nice to have this electric outlet and these USB ports. Those get used a lot, obviously. These are my cables, ones to a light I have up there. And this is probably one of the most used tools I have, this Astro. It's great that it's reusable or rechargeable. I use it a ton. Of course, I've still got my glove holder and pins and stuff. This is the best thing that Milwaukee ever made. Multi-port battery charger. Got a set of 3/8 impacts here, which I just use these when I'm on the go if I'm going to go somewhere to do some sort of a repair, so I don't have to guess at what tools I have. And in here, torque wrenches, jumper cables, stuff like that. Some battery chargers, air compressor, jumper cables, light. This is a little battery source, you know, just kind of general stuff like that. Pretty much more of the same. Jumper cables. These are individual Milwaukee chargers, and since I got that, I never use them, but you know, you hate to throw anything away. And down here is just kind of gardening tools and general stuff that you would use around the garden. You got your crescents, levels, chisels, tape measures. Lost my 6-foot tape measure some time ago, and for the life of me, I don't know where it's at. Different knife blades and scissors, stud finders, scrapers, blades, a couple flashlights in there. Sae wrenches, which I almost never use. Seems like everything's metric. These are little burrs. They'd be great. The only problem is I don't really have anything I can put them in. They tend to waller out whenever you try to put them into a regular drill. I mean, I just rarely ever use metric, but I got it if I need it. I mean SAE, not metric. Jeez. Metric, yeah, these I use all the time. I use these stubbies more than I thought I would. And obviously this drawer gets used a lot. I got various spark plug and odd type of sockets in here, and all of these ratchets. I probably use this one and this one the most. These are nice. These are, I don't remember how many tooth, but they're really nice. Once in a while I'll use it. And I went to using all impact sockets for everything. I've only run across one time where the impact socket, for example, gotta get used to this camera. See how thick that is? I was in a situation once where it was just too thick walled. I needed something more thinner. Let's see if I can compare this. Move the camera in a little closer. See the difference? Thicker walled, thin walled. One time I've ran into an issue that I needed something that was thinner walled. So I've got a couple of your basic non-impacts over here, but 999 times out of 1,000 I use these only. Some different assortments of oddball type socket converters and stuff, extensions. You go back out here a little bit and stuff like that. Still not happy with how this drawer is set up. Never have been, even though I've changed it several times. Phillips, flatheads, micros, different drill assortments are like those Phillips and stuff in there that I can put in my drill. These are different little screwdriver bit sets you can put in your drill, stuff like that. Okay, and you know, channel locks, metal cutters, angled pliers, little pliers, a needle nose. These little babies, I thought I would get more use out of them than I have. I've hardly ever used them. Kind of expensive, but they're very nice, very good, very durable, very, very nice to have. Even though I've only used them once or twice, I definitely wouldn't get rid of it. Some vice grips, a little bit of everything in there. Oh, and these fence pliers. Yeah, I gotta get my camera adjusted. As you can tell, they're kind of old and well used, and I use them a lot. Probably the most of the pliers. Here's just some general stuff. Lug nut sockets. You got your Allens. These are hex and Torx that'll fit on drills. These are long ball sockets. Almost never use them. There's another one. I just kept the set. You know, you don't want to get rid of it. But almost never use those. Hammers, pipe wrenches, shackles, rivet, stuff like that. I get into this drawer a lot. I got all kinds of clamps, fuses, those small round batteries, electrical connectors, screws, some nails, cotter pins, LED lights, thumbtacks, one of those days. Different size of bolts and stuff, and then every time, you know, you get that some assembly required type furniture or something that's got a bag of various parts. Whenever I have any left over, I just throw them in here because you can never find them, and if you ever need one, you got it. Oh, this stuff's pretty much got to do with cars. There's some extension cord there, funnels, oil filters, nothing special in here, some paints. Air compressor tools, here's a big one. I never use these. Even though I have an air compressor, I just never use these air compressor tools because I've got a Milwaukee and I just never use them. These are just kind of dead in my garage. But I do use the air compressor all the time. This is just different tapes and stuff, nothing special in here. Those command hooks, just a place to put them. Here's another one. I will use these once in a while, but not very often. If I didn't have them, I wouldn't miss them. But these offset wrenches, can you believe it? I don't think I've ever used them. You know, I don't know why, but just never really used them. That's one that, if it wasn't in my drawer, wouldn't bother me. So, you know, it is what it is. Here's some more electrical stuff. Solder, electrical tape, wire connectors, just stuff like that. Here's the good stuff. This is just Dremels and stuff. Spade bits or wood boring bits. Plastic panel tools. There's a file, wood bits. This is for fixing tires, plugging them. And I've done that many times between all our vehicles. I'm always in this drawer, which means I'm always using that. And then this one is a corded ripsaw. There's a corded drill, I think, in there somewhere. I'm not going to dig it out, but I think it's in the very bottom. I could do without that too, because it's just never used anymore. It's just one of those things that I never use anymore. So the big things, of course, are the sockets, the wrenches, some of the Milwaukees, and the screwdrivers. Lug nut sockets I use. Here's another one. These are pass-through sockets. I don't think I've ever used them. I guess it's good to have them, but it's just one of those things I've never used. All right, well, that's a 2021 toolbox tour look. I appreciate you taking the time to watch. As always, share and subscribe if you would. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.